nicht, ob man mich überhaupt schon hört. Es hört sich nicht wirklich danach an.
Ich denke schon.
Und wäre auch total klasse, wenn wir so mindestens 2 Sekunden vorher Bescheid kriegen würden, wenn wir drauf sind. Aber es ist nicht schlimm, wir sind hier und das ist auch gut so, denn wir haben Peter Molyneux auch jetzt endlich im Konsolenbereich und nachdem er sich bei den PC-Lern so ein bisschen profiliert hat, haben wir uns gedacht, okay, der Junge hat was drauf, der darf auch gerne mal in den Konsolenbereich kommen. Finally, you're here, Peter. We talked about it a lot, and I'm really glad you found. Finally, you found something you can present in the console section.
Well, it's taken a while, and you know, Fable has been in the making now for 4 years, and we're only just confident enough now to start showing it off.
And, I mean, it's an amazing game. I had the opportunity to play a little bit.
Well, it's not quite balanced yet. You know, we've got a bit of work to do with the control mechanism, and but you know, it is. I've always wanted to make a role-playing game. I mean, the first role-playing game I ever played was called Wizardry, and that was about 15 years ago. I lost my first girlfriend to that game, and I've just been playing them ever since. And there came an opportunity to make one, and I just snapped it up.
Perfect. Simon, he's a big fan of your game.
First I have to say I'm a really huge fan, so it's not very difficult to convince me.
Well, I mean, it's.
But now let's get straight to the game. Let's get to Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay, Metal Gear Solid 3. Well, that's a great game as well. No, it's called Fable. It's a role-playing game, and it's kind of different from other role-playing games, because other role-playing games you get given a character and you've got to play the role of it. This game, the character itself watches you play the game and will change to reflect what sort of player you're like. But the first thing I really want to show on the game is the combat stuff. We know we sort of specialise in simulations. We've done simulations in Black and White. We've done simulations in Dungeon Keeper. We specialise in creating worlds. We can do that stuff, and I'm going to show that a little bit later. But the first thing I want to talk about is combat, because really, without combat, a role-playing game is nothing. So let's talk about a little bit about the combat. So the first thing is you've got to have cool weapons. You've got to have lots of cool weapons, and you've got to be able to make your own cool weapons. So you can create your own weapons using an augmentation system. You create the greatest sword of all time. There are lots of different weapons in the world. The second thing is you must be able to mix your combat. You must be able to use range combat and sword play and magic all together. The more different type of combat you use, the more your character will change. So Simon's just come out into a situation now. He's faced some bandits and they've asked for some gold. No way am I going to give them any of my gold. I mean, I've got a very big sword.
I have a big sword.
Yeah, and I haven't got much gold. So he's going to take them on. Now he's fighting them. Now the first unique thing you notice is that the combat calls other combat people into play. You can take on up to 16 combatants all at once.
Okay.
And you can mix all of your sword play up, and every successful, he's just using a bit of magic there. That's called a battle charge.
Can you use magic from the beginning, or you have to learn it?
You can use magic from the beginning. We have got 21 different magic disciplines that you can learn. Each one of those disciplines you can go up at different levels. So that was a battle charge. You can keep up going levels in that. The other unique thing about the combat system is the more successful combat you do, the more it multiplies your experience up. And this is a very, very unique element, meaning that your character can change in ways that have never been like before. So he's struggling a little bit here, being taken them on, but he's doing all right. So do you want to use a little bit more magic, Simon? Maybe a berserk? He's actually parrying out. This is a burning hands spell. This
it looks pretty nice.
When it starts off, it's pretty weak and feeble, but by the end, it can get really powerful. And that's what we wanted, people to specialise in having heroes that are totally unique to themselves.
Will all character classes be able to make magic? Or will there only be the magician?
Absolutely. The more you use magic, the more magic you're able to create. So,
but even if you choose a warrior, you can use magic?
You don't choose anything. That's the difference. Yeah. At the start of the game, you start up with a 15-year-old kid who looks like a farmer at hand. If you don't use magic, you use swords a lot, by the end of the game he's going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's going to have huge muscles.
Like me. Yeah.
A bit like you. I mean, to be honest with you,
don't tell him.
You're not going to be the greatest hero of all time. You want about that much bigger. This bigger neck.
Okay.
And so if you use big swords, you're going to get like that. If you use stealth and if you use range combat, you're going to look more like Bruce Lee. Well, a little bit like and if you use magic, you're going to look a little bit like Gandalf. So if you use a combination of those, you can get a combination of those characters. And then the next bit, I'll show you what your character can look like and how it can morph. But the important thing is, we have spent years getting this combat system right. The other thing I should say is, we can't really demonstrate it here, Fable can be played up to 4-player, multiplayer cooperatively. All you do is you take your joypad out, plug it in there, no setup screens, you're in the world straight
Will you be able to show it today, or is it
we can't
just
really
too
show
buggy
it today,
to show it?
unfortunately, because we need another character.
But it will be in the game.
It will be in the, will absolutely be in the game.
Why are you so fascinated by the idea of good and evil? I mean, it's through all your games.
Well, that's because sometimes I come home and I want to be just the meanest person. And if I had a bad day, I want everything in this world to
it's called Monday.
It's called Monday, yeah. If I've had a good day, I want to be nice to people. And wouldn't it be fantastic to have a game where you don't have to be a good guy all the time, where you can be evil and you can walk into towns, you can do some really rude, horrible things to people. You can do some evil things in the world, you can do some nice things. You may see the princess on the top of the hill and you think, I'll save her, but let's see how far we can go afterwards, because I want a reward. And definitely in this game, you can chat up women, you can even get married, and you can have children. I won't go into the details of how you do that.
Okay, we will see a lot of good and evil stuff later. Ihr sollt auf jeden Fall dranbleiben. Fable, das absolute Rollenspielphänomen für die Xbox, dürft ihr auf gar keinen Fall verpassen.